Okay, thank you guys for joining us. You can see we're playing Pirates because the room is full today. Coach, do you mind just sharing your thoughts on the Internet semi-final?
Yeah, we hope we obviously get as many people in the stadium as we have here. I think that's very important. Obviously, it's a big club that we're playing against, the Orlando Pirates. Obviously, a team that over the past couple of seasons have obviously won this competition. Not going to be easy, but we're going to go out there, back ourselves, play with a lot of confidence, a lot of self-belief, and look to take the game to them. You know, we've got to go out there, play without fear. And so far, I think the preparation has actually been very, very good. And I think the players are actually looking forward to the opportunity to play against such a big club like Pirates, you know. So it won't be easy, we know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be about who wants it the most. But yeah, an opportunity for us to try and get into that final. And obviously we start that task with a game at home. So players are in good spirits. Preparation hasn't been ideal, obviously because of the weather that we've had here. The break in between the game, Sekhukhune until now. I think they've been playing a lot more matches than what we have. We even struggled to get friendlies this side of the world and finding facilities to actually play those friendlies, you know. So preparation hasn't been as good as we would have hoped, but players have responded in the right manner. We've done our best in terms of the preparation that we can. We're fortunate that we obviously have the artificial pitch that has helped us, but it's also brought a few niggles here and there. We've had a bit of unfortunate injuries with Lorenzo breaking his nose against Sekhukhune, which is obviously puts him in doubt for the game against Pirates. And then we lost Carlinhos to a long-term injury. So he'll be out until probably February, March, if we're lucky. Which is unfortunate, but nature of the game. So yeah, that's where we currently at.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take questions. Mark?
Can I ask you two questions? First of all, the first leg at home versus the second leg at home, is that much of a factor these days at the high standard that you play? And the second one, just in terms of Pirates' qualities and where you think you can hurt them?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, you know, Pirates playing at home or away is always a home game. You know, they get massive support, they get massive crowd, but on a personal note, I've always felt the fuller the stadium, whether it's your spectators or the opposition spectators, it makes you raise your game to another level. So I don't think that plays an effect. I think the fact that obviously still in this competition, away goals count. So it's very, very important to look to keep that clean sheet, especially when you're playing at home. So I think that's got to be the primary factor for us, to make sure that we give ourselves more than a chance when we go away from home. So I think that's very, very important for me.
And their qualities and their...
Yeah, the qualities, they got so many qualities. You know, they got a massive squad to choose from. Their preparation has been exceptional, obviously being able to go to Spain and play against the type of opposition that they've played. But at the same time, we saw them drawing away to a team from Madagascar, so they do have frailties. You know, so we've got to go out there with a full belief in ourselves, know where their strengths lie. They are a very good team on transition into attack. They're a team that likes to build up and play through the phases. Players with technical ability, Mafokeng, for example, in 1v1s, very, very dangerous. So, we've got to be aware of of those factors. I think that's important. What type of holding midfielder do they play with? Do they go with Makalo? Do they go with Miguel Tim? Different type of players. So like I said to you before, for me it's about us being brave, backing ourselves, and looking, especially at home, to play with that positivity and that belief and take the game to them.
Okay, Sandile.
Coach, just with the opposition in mind, of course, but just having seen your team play now, just what's your impressions in terms of just the capabilities of your squad?
I think we've done a very, very good job in terms of the players that we've brought in for this season. I think we have a lot more depth in our squad. The good thing about last season was the amount of youngsters that we gave opportunities. Bringing in those new faces has raised the level of a number of those players. We're seeing Kaká playing at a different level. We're seeing Shaquille, April playing at a different level. We got Gabby, Amato playing at a different level. All these youngsters are growing and getting better and better purely because of the quality that we've brought in. So it's made my job a lot more difficult now versus last season. I didn't find that the youngsters were entirely ready, but this season I can see that they are. And the competition, the level of competition in training has grown threefold, which is extremely important for us. Bringing in the qualities that Hashim brings, the qualities that Fortune brings, Amadou, who just arrived, and just in the 2 days that he's been here already, that's raised the level. Prince now being fully fit again, and the qualities that he possesses. So we have so many options now. When I turn and look at the bench, I can say to myself, well, there's a lot of quality here that can actually help us. So I think that's a positive for me.
Rob?
Coach, you mentioned all these options. Are any of them, will they be available? And I mean, I also see you've got more options coming up with people like Madada making his way back.
Yeah, well, Amadou, as I said, he only arrived on Sunday. Now it's the process of the work permit, etc., etc. We're hoping we can get all of that done and dusted by the second leg. Don't think it will happen. I don't think we'll be that fortunate to get the work permit by the time we play Pirates. So, he'll be ready then. Thabo Nodada, he's now started field training, running. But the likeliness is we're still looking around about October for his full recovery. The youngsters, as I said, the youngsters are all doing extremely well. And I'm very, very happy with the progress. And, the young players, they can surprise you. I had the Wits Academy for many, many years. And there were players that I thought would make it that ended up not making it. And those that I thought wouldn't, did. And I got proven wrong a couple of times already here with some of the youngsters, Sipa Mandla, as well as another boy from the youth. He's really made leaps and bounds, progress. Extremely, extremely good defender, a lot of pace, a lot of speed. So he's just added a lot of value. And as I mentioned before, Gabi Amato, the progress he has made, and the confidence and self-belief that he has in himself is exceptional, so that just bodes well for the future of the club.
Because playing a team of that caliber, of Paris caliber, how big is your job to motivate these players?
It's not big. Players are obviously aware of the qualities that Pirates possess. They are aware of the status in our country in terms of Orlando Pirates. So they go into this game with a lot of self-motivation already. I don't need to motivate them. And yeah, I think that's the key factor. It's all about us just getting the game plan right. And I think that's the importance against Pirates. Can we frustrate them? Because we know, yeah, in South Africa we have a very fickle crowd. We turn on our teams very, very quickly. And that's got to be our purpose, you know. Make it difficult for them, turn the crowd against them, and then you stand even a greater chance.
Okay.
Coach, you've obviously been here at the start of this Cape Town City project. And we've obviously been moving to Maritzburg as well at the same time. We've seen what has happened here with them moving to Durban. And then we've obviously seen what's happened to Stellenbosch having to move their games to Durban as well with some of the stadium debacle. For Cape Town City as well, some of their home matches obviously won't be played at Cape Town Stadium, will be played at Atlas Stadium. It seems like there's sort of a clash between soccer and rugby in the city at the moment for venues. How do Cape Town City or you as a coach feel about that in the long term run as far as this can turn out? Is that sort of thing for you as a coach and the city as a club as well?
I think firstly the Maritzburg issue is slightly different because the rugby's got nothing to do with what happened to Maritzburg. But obviously, yes, we do come second to rugby. That's just a fact, especially with the success that rugby has had over the past few years. You know, that's the sad part. And unfortunately, here in Cape Town, we're not blessed with many stadiums that can be utilized. You know, so that's always been a struggle. When I go back to 2016, when I came to the club, we spoke about wanting to turn this into a stadium. And I think the biggest challenge has been trying to get that lease in order for us to build our own stadium, because we know the challenges that we're going to face at the DHL. And I don't blame management at DHL Stadium. You know, the Stormers are there, the events, the live concerts, all of that brings in a lot of money in terms of maintaining that facility. You know, so we're well aware of that. You know, the unfortunate part, we were talking about it this morning, is that, you know, we don't come second to professional rugby. We actually come second to amateur rugby. You know, the under-20s World Cup, in my view, shouldn't be taking place at Athlone, because you're taking away from a professional football club the ability to play at Athlone. We understand the DHL Stadium, you know, but did you need to really use Athlone? Do you understand what I'm saying? I think that's the sad part for me. You know, but those are the challenges we face, and we just have to try and deal with them the best we possibly can. You know, it's sad to see Stellenbosch having to go to Durban to play their home game. But, you know, this year also it's been the most rain, etc., etc. You can't really put pure blame on a single person, because the weather hasn't helped. You can see our training pitch, you know, it's in the worst condition it's ever been since I've been at the club. And that's nature. No one else's fault.
Just follow up. You speak about turning what you've into obviously a home-based stadium for Cape Town City. Is there sort of, what's the prognosis on that? Is there
That one I leave with the chairman. He'll give you a far more detail than me.
Just on Sokoma, coach, like the profile, we saw Erasmus had his best season at Cape Town City. The same with Mayo. He's got goals at Cape Town City. Is this environment conducive enough, you know, for him to come and deliver, or just take off from where Mayo left off?
I think so. You know, he has a lot of qualities. You know, we forget that this guy played under 17 for the French national team. You know, so he has a lot of qualities as a player. And when he was at Maritzburg, I was highly impressed with him. You know, his ability, he's comfortable on the ball, he's got strength, he's got speed, and he can shoot. His free kicks are really, really good. So I think he's a strong element to our team, and it's a pity we didn't get him earlier, you know, but unfortunately he wasn't allowed in the country at the time. Now we've managed to resolve that. He's a good professional, hard-working, and he's fitted in immediately.
Coach, are you still expected to strengthen your team? You came into part of your...
This is the biggest squad we've had since I've been at Cape Town City, and as I said, you know, the youngsters, they've stepped up. You know, there's 4 or 5 young players that have really, really stepped up. So now I'm sitting with a 30-man squad. Now, when you compare it to the likes of other clubs, maybe you say, oh, that's not a big squad. But for me it is. You know, we've been used to working at Cape Town City with 24, 25 maximum. You know, already I have a headache in terms of tomorrow when I'm doing 11v11, guys sitting out, you know, not being involved. You know, so I don't think we'll be signing anybody else.
Coach, just balancing with the national youth teams. Obviously, your boys all had a good weekend. Shaquille scoring, Emil scoring, and Kasafa's coming up. Is this something you guys have planned ahead for?
Yeah, I think, you know, the one sad part, I would love those competitions to also coincide with the FIFA breaks. You know, because it makes it difficult for us, especially us as a club where we utilize a lot of our youth players in the PSL. So for them to miss PSL matches becomes an issue. And as much as we'd like to be able to help those teams, those national teams, you know, the priority is Cape Town City Football Club. You know, so that won't change. So we're happy to see Emil going and achieving what he achieved there. Shaquille, as I said, he stepped up his game, and it's no surprise for me that he done so well there. Jody is an example. He was called up to the under-20s, and I couldn't allow it because we had the game against Sekukune. Causa's another one who unfortunately was injured, so he couldn't participate. But I think, you know, the club has to come first, unfortunately, especially with those competitions that fall outside of the FIFA window. So, you know, if we can, we'll obviously always allow them to go. But first is Cape Town City Football Club.
He'll brag about his goals.
Yeah.
Why were you so crap in the cups last year? Was it just coincidental, or?
Thanks for that question. No, I think, I'm not sure, to be brutally honest with you. You know, I think the season before we struggled. It was my first season back here. We got to the final. I just think inconsistency in our performances over the past 2 years, in my view. Training attitude, training ethics. This season I'm seeing a lot more of what I can remember from 2016. You know, I can see that hunger, I can see that desire, I can see that camaraderie within the squad. I spoke at the end of the season where players must first think about playing for Cape Town City and achieving things at Cape Town City before looking for moves, be it to other bigger clubs in South Africa or overseas. And I think that message, the players have understood that. So I can see that we have a squad now that really wants to achieve things and win things, you know. But yeah, you got to do it on the field. That's key.
Okay. Okay, we'll take the last two.
Coach, I've noticed that in this current window that several clubs in South Africa have been signing players from Angola or Petro, to be specific. And Chiefs got Inacio just this week. Pirates got Gilberto. You guys have Carlinhos. What's the appeal, or is there like some scouting trend that is going on here with finding players within the continent who are particularly maybe at Petro, at a club like Petro, who's consistently in CAF competitions and stuff like that? So what's the idea behind scouting in countries like that within the continent?
I know for a fact, even when I was at Pirates, we were chasing players from Angola. Angola then market difficult to bring a player from Angola to South Africa because of the amount of money that they were earning there. So I think that market has changed. So it's opened that window for those players now to leave Angola to come to South Africa, where they can actually earn more than what they're earning in Angola. In the past, it wasn't like that. I can tell you, for example, Gilberto, and just to show you how quick this, Gilberto, 2 seasons ago when we played in the Champions League, we wanted to sign him already then, but we couldn't afford him, you know. So obviously things in those markets change, which then opens up opportunities elsewhere. But that's our reality, you know. Sundown's reality versus ours is chalk and cheese. So it's, you know, they can get anybody from any part of the world. We can't do that, you know.
Sandeep.
Coach, just on Jaden Rhodes.
Yes.
I mean, I think I can say he enjoyed a breakout season last term, going to COSAFA as well. In terms of the expectations from you from this season, like what sort of role are you earmarking for going into the season? And if I may just get a comment on Maritzburg United just closing doors and then you as well.
I think right at the beginning of the season we spoke about to the players that every day at training, think about 1% more. 1% more. Every day that you come in, can I add 1% more? 1% more to my effort, 1% more to my work attitude, 1% more in terms of my tactical approach to the game. And I look at Jaden. Can Jaden one more assist? Can Jaden one more goal? That's got to be his objectives. That's got to be his targets, you know, so that he's building himself. Because we can see the talent. The talent is there. Now, can we turn that talent into consistency and raise the level? Because we have to raise the level. Sundowns is walking with leagues at the moment. So all of us Pirates, Chiefs, everybody, we have to raise the level. But it's not the coaches only. Yes, us as coaches, we have to raise the level, but the ones who perform in the field are not us, it's the players. So they're going to have to raise their game. You understand? You want to put bums in seats. You want to compete against Sundowns. You've got to raise your level individually. So that has been the message that we've been relaying to players who have that talent, like Jaden, you know. And this is my view. Today in social media, it's so easy to put someone up there and make them superstars. And sometimes it's too soon, you know, and they need to stay grounded. And Jaden needs to stay grounded because there's a lot of room for improvement, in my view, with Jaden. And then Maritzburg. Yeah, obviously sad. But Maritzburg is one, Wits is another, Highlands is another, Bloem Celtic is another. I was watching the game last night. Platinum Stars is another, you know. All teams that have come and gone, you know, which is obviously sad. And Maritzburg played a big part in KwaZulu-Natal in terms of development. Because for me, that's a key factor. Clubs that are developing. And Maritzburg was a club that was developing players, and for that club to now disappear, that's that means our development is losing. You understand? Wits, when it disappeared, our development is losing. Highlands, our development is losing. That's the sad part, because all those clubs were highly involved in that aspect.